What's up, Chris? Marty? Finch? This is James T, and to everybody else out there watching. This is the new song that I've been working on called Mobius. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and play through the whole song. I'll put a little text at the bottom to tell you the roots, and then I'm just going to play the same clip over again, and I'm going to dub over it so I can tell you exactly what I'm doing, and then I'm going to give you pointers on what I'd like for you guys to do so you can start composing on your own. So without further ado, here it is, Mobius. Alright, so, the intro, it's, just the repurposed intro from Cough. That's a B chord there, I'm just not hitting the low 5th B there. I'm just hitting the upper 4 strings, and you see me going up and down on that half step on that upper B string. On that, 7th fret. Pretty easy. Exactly the same as it was in Cough. And then, just like in Cough, I went down to A, and I'm still trying to catch that upper half step on that B, and then I go down to a F sharp, and then down to E, and this is in 5/4. I'm just arpeggiating an E minor. And then I hit a tritone, and we go into chorus A. So, that right there, that's just 7/5 on the A string with an octave. I did an octave instead of the power chord to give you room, Chris. During the chorus, A, I would like for you to fill out those empty spaces that I leave for you, especially the upper registries and that string I'm not hitting on that octave chord right there. And that's just a 10-9. That less little da-da-da-da-da-da. And then I changed the rhythm of that da-da-da-da-da-da to da-da-da-da-da-da on the verse. And this is a crash area for you, Finch. Slow crash. We need some upper registries filled with that real ringy crash. Now this has a lot of disparity in the middle ranges, so that's for you, Chris, to sit in the mid ranges and give us some nice chords progression, so that it's not just me doing my chords there. What I'm doing is I'm just riding the B, and then I'm going G, and then down a half step, and then hitting the lower 5th there with a 5th on top of that G, and then I'm just going down an octave. And then I go into verse A again, but it's actually verse B. It's just an octave up, and I'm not palm muting. This part's meant for Marty. Chris, I'd like for you to stay in the upper registries with me. That way Marty can have some room to do something here. 5ths, for 3rds, 4ths, whatever you want to do, Marty. And then I go into chorus A. So while we're in chorus A again, I want to talk about the inspiration of the song. It's about the abusive cycle in a relationship. And I'm akinning it or comparing it to a Mobius strip, which if you don't know what that is, that's when you take a strip of paper, a loop, and you cut it, and then you twist it. That way you're able to traverse both sides of the strip continually. So it's supposed to be like an endless cycle, but it's twisted, so it's meant to be unpredictable in a way. And see, here I go into chorus B instead of something different. Anyway, so the idea is it's meant to be a cycle, but it's meant to be a volatile cycle at the same time. It's meant to explore the duality of the predictability yet unpredictability of an abusive relationship, which is why there's tons of fucking time changes everywhere. And you see I changed the rhythm of that little transition bit right there. And then here I go into a 6/4. What I'm doing is, you just follow the root notes I'm doing. That's an E there, just so you know. And I'm hitting an octave off it, again, for you, Chris. That way you can fill out the space. Maybe you can fill up the upper registries, but I'm also giving that little spacing between my fingers to do something. And you can, like, syncopate or come down with me when I'm doing that da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Just to, kind of bring it together. And this is a good place for Marty to follow us, too. And then we go into the repurposed verse riff from Cough, which is meant to be the solo backdrop. The reason I didn't like Cough and why I scrapped it ultimately was because I felt like a lot of the riffs couldn't really carry a song. I felt like this riff was much better as a solo backdrop. Exactly the same as it was in Cough. Just without the gent breakdown at the end of the riff. And then I go back into the intermission, but it's repurposed as a bridge. So here you should be able to just follow my finger work. Remember, my lowest string is a B, not an E. And I should have mentioned I'm in E standard. And you see I go up a fifth on that figure. I transitioned up a fifth. And then I just go up a whole step. And then I go down a whole step again where I was, but I just switch to a different string to get a different voice or a different tone color. And then there's that really tasty lick that Finch likes, so this is your part, Finch. And I would really like for Chris and Marty, for you guys to pretty much be doing what I'm doing. You can be in a different octave or something, or maybe like a fifth or something, but this is... The guitars really need to be together here, that way Finch can deviate from us. And I forgot to mention, during that that can either still be me soloing from the previous 2 sections, or Chris, you can if you want, you can solo there. Here I just play 2 iterations of chorus B as the outro, and then I play 2 iterations of chorus A with the second iteration repurposed. See? Pretty simple. Now there, I hit a D. I didn't mean to. That last little note is supposed to be a C. Lots of empty space for you, Chris. Upper registry sections for Marty. And when I'm really low, Finch, you need to either have an open hi-hat or that real big crash, or maybe even a ride. Just something with a really high registry to it. That way you can fill us out. So, you know, just whenever you guys are composing, try to play off of the rhythm, because that's really the strong part of the song. And Chris, try to fill out my empty spaces in between my fingers. You can hit upper registries too. Marty, just kind of try to follow along. And so yeah, that's Mobius.